Hey, what's up guys? It's Billy T here from Fortuna Interactive Studios. In today's video of the complete tutorial series for Unreal Engine 5, we'll be going over creating your first HUD using UI widget blueprints for Unreal Engine 5. So before I get started, it should be noted that I have updated my project to 5.3, which is the most recent update from the Unreal Engine 5 line. And it came out, I believe, about 6 days ago, maybe 7 days ago, maybe a week. In this video, it's not really going to matter, the update, because it doesn't make too many changes, or any, I don't think, to the UI system and building your own UI. So I'm not going to worry about it. You don't have to do the update if you don't want, but I will have a separate video coming out soon that will cover all of the new things that 5.3 adds, and it will also cover how to upgrade your project to 5.3. So let's get started. So today we will be building a HUD, and what this HUD is going to do is going to be very simple. It's going to have a crosshair in the middle of the screen, and it'll have a health bar. And throughout the rest of the series, we will be adding to this HUD. I'm adding more and more things to it, maybe even a compass, a mini map, etc., etc. So this HUD is going to reside within a widget blueprint. And so what we're going to do right now is create that. Now, if you watched my last video, you'll know that I'm big into object-oriented programming. So we are going to build our widgets the same way. I have seen a lot of tutorials out there that put all of their widget systems and their UI stuff into one blueprint. And that's just not the best way to do it, especially not in my opinion. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do it with multiple widgets that you can kind of string together. So first, we're going to right click in our content browser, and we're going to create a new folder. I'm going to call this folder user interface. We're going to open it up. Now I'm going to put everything directly into this folder for now, and later on we can organize it. So right click again, go to user interface, go down at the bottom, widget blueprint, and select user widget. Now, I'm going to use the naming convention WB. You can use UI, you can use HUD, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use WB. WB underscore main. And this widget blueprint, what it's going to do is it is going to contain all of the sub widgets that are going to appear on the screen. So this main HUD widget blueprint will contain the crosshair, the health bar, and every sub widget we make. Now, it should be noted that this is what's going to be added to your screen. None of the other things are actually going to be added individually. They will all reside within this. You will understand more of that later, but for now, let's just get on with it. So what you are looking at here is the widget blueprint editor. In the middle here is your canvas, or your visual designer, I should say. And what this is a visual representation of your UI layout, and you can actually edit things that go here. You can see what your UI will look like in game. Up in this top left, we have the palette, and what this does is it allows you to drag things into your visual designer or into your hierarchy. And just like I said that, you have the hierarchy, and this will show you the hierarchy, which of course you'll see how that works in a minute, of the different widgets within your widget blueprint. So to get started, we're going to go to the palette, and we'll search for canvas. I'm going to choose the canvas panel, and I'm actually going to drag it into our hierarchy onto our main HUD. Now you will see in the visual representation, we have the canvas panel. Anything within this panel will be on our screen. And in order to show that, I'm actually going to make this, let's drag a border, and let's just put it in the center of the screen. So what I did there is I put the border, I grabbed it, dragged it onto the canvas panel, and I centered it by going up and to the right on the details panel, choosing anchors, and holding down Control, Shift, and clicking this center ring. Go to compile and save. Back to your map, and let's go ahead and add this to our screen. So I'm going to go back to content. I'm going to go to our character, and on begin play, you'll see this is from our data table tutorial here. I'm actually going to keep that. At the end of your begin play, so whatever your begin play has, just add this on the end. If you're not going to test it the way I am, then you can skip this step. I'm going to do this right here, and I'm going to do create. Okay, there we go. Sorry, that was way too confusing. Basically what I did was I typed in create widget and it wasn't showing up, but you want to get this node right here, create widget. You want to go to your class, and you want to select your main HUD. You can also search for it. Just like that. Now usually you would promote it to a variable. I'm not going to do that just yet because we're not going to be manipulating anything inside of it. So I'm just going to do this right here, come out of this and do add to viewport. So what this is going to do is going to create a class of your widget blueprint, and then it's going to add it to the view. So go ahead and compile and save, and you will see now if we click play, we have that white rectangle in the middle of our screen. All right, so now we know that when we click play, we will see this on our screen. So how do we get a crosshair and health bar to appear here? So an easy way to do it, and what I was talking about earlier, so I've seen a lot of people just drag a progress bar or something into their scene, slap it down in the left-hand corner, add some padding to it on the X and Y, and boom, you have a health bar. Now, that works, it's there in the bottom left corner, but the problem is if you want to make any edits to it, you have to edit the main HUD, which could cause some problems later on. So if you ever wanted to edit your health bar, you'd have to go into your main HUD widget, and imagine if you had a ton of other progress bars, health bar, whatever else you have here, mini map, compass, yada yada yada. If you had a ton of other things here and you wanted to edit your health bar, this could get in the way and it could be very hard to navigate. So I'm going to show you a better way. So we're going to go ahead and delete that progress bar, compile and save again, come back out to our third person map, go back to our user interface folder. I'm going to create another widget blueprint. It's like this. I'm going to call it WB_health. Just like this. Now, I'm not going to really care about the looks of our health bar just yet. It's just going to look like a basic progress bar, which just goes up and down. We will talk about adding, some nice appearances to your UI later. I'll even use Adobe Illustrator, and I can, give you guys some templates and things like that. So before we get started, I'm going to add a size box right here. And what this is going to do is it is going to constrain our widget to a certain size. So you can see we have a width and height override. Ready? I am now going to drop the progress bar into the size box, just like that. And then on top of our progress bar, I'm going to add some text. Oh, first I need to, this is actually a very useful function. You right click on your progress bar, go to wrap with, and choose overlay. So now what that's going to do, it is going to surround, or not surround, but put our progress bar inside of an overlay. And what an overlay is it allows you to stack multiple widgets on top of each other. As you can see, our progress bar is only occupying this top left corner of the overlay. So what we want to do to remedy that is go to the top right in the details panel and fill both ways, horizontally and vertically. Now I can add text to the overlay, and you'll see it right there. We want to go ahead and center the text, and we will make it just say health. Just like that. Now I'm going to rename this progress bar to health bar, and file and save. And let's make this look a little bit better. So I'm going to enable the width and height override. And what I'm going to do is show you guys a little bit of why I wanted to do the whole object-oriented thing. So first things first, as you can see, we have our health bar here. It doesn't look great at all, but it exists. Go back to your main HUD. Now what you can do is in this palette, you can actually search for your health bar you created. So WB_health bar. And I can drag that onto our canvas panel. And you'll see it right here. I'm going to go to anchor, go to this bottom left-hand corner, and click Control and Shift and click on it. It's going to put it in the bottom left-hand corner. Now I'm going to position it. So we go to position X and do 64 on the X, and then position Y, let's do -64. And go up. Just like that. And then I am going to, let's actually size to content here. Yeah, I'm going to leave this off actually. I'm going to use the sizing here, sizing. So let's put this at about 200 on the X, and we'll do 64. Or let's make it actually 256 on the X. So now we have a health bar, just like that. So you can see in the bottom left, we have the health bar. Now, the health bar doesn't do anything. It actually does nothing at all. It just exists there. It is text on our screen. So what we're going to do is add just some simple functionality to it. I actually will have the next video covering health, hurting your player, healing your player, things like that. So we're going to go into the health bar itself. I'm going to add some functions. I'm going to go to graph, and I'm going to create a function. And what this is going to do is it's going to be a function we can call from anywhere to raise or lower our health. So on this function, I'm going to call it, let's see, adjust health level. Yeah. All right. What we're going to do here is we're going to put an input down here on the left, and we're going to say that amount and make it a. Okay. Now you will see that we have the adjust health level, and we can input an amount. So what we're going to do is let's do this as well. Let's actually add a boolean and say increase. And put that. That way, instead of putting a negative or a positive value, you can always put a positive value, and then you can detect if it is increasing or decreasing. Let's learn how to make that progress bar happen. So first things first, I'm actually going to go into the designer here, select our progress bar, and put the percentage all the way up. Now you will see that it's not 0 to 100, it's 0 to 1. That's important. What we're going to do here is adjust that. So we're going to take our increase boolean here and hold down B and click to get a branch. And we're going to check if we want to increase it or decrease it. Now, if we want to increase, we want to set this amount plus. If we want to decrease, we want to set it to false. I'm not going to worry about checking if the player has died or anything like that. That will be in the next video. So right now, what I'm going to be doing is increasing the current level of the health bar and decreasing it and not worrying about if it gets to 0 or not. But in order to do that, we need a health level. So what we want to do is create another variable. I'm going to call this made a mistake. That'll actually come in next video. Take it back. Because the current health and things like that is actually going to exist on our player. You'll understand in the next video. Sorry. So what I'm going to come out of the progress bar, sorry I didn't really talk during that. I'm going to drag the health bar out here, which is our progress bar, and select get health bar. Already did that here. Go here and do set %. You want to choose the function here, not the variable. Just like that. Then I'm going to come out of the health bar again. I'm going to do get %. Just like that. So now what you'll see is I will get the percentage. And if you remember when we were setting it, it was between 0 and 1. But what if our health is from 0 to 100? Well, of course, we're going to want to divide by 100. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that %. We're going to divide by 100. Just like this. And we are going to want to add to it or subtract to it. So something that I did in a previous video was use a select node instead of a branch, and I'm going to be doing that again actually now that I think about it. So go to this set % here and drag that in just like that. Come out of in % and do a select node just like this. Drag the increase into the index, and basically what this is going to do is it will select based on the boolean that it's fed. So whatever is plugged into this false, if this is false, it'll do this. It'll plug this into the in %. If it is true, then it will plug that in %. So we want to take this amount and first do add, and let's also drag out a subtract. Just like this, and let's go ahead and hold control and drag it down. I should have done that. And then we want to take our current % and drag that to the top. And let's go ahead and make this just look a little bit better. So, here, put this back here. Take these guys, move. Alrighty. So if it is not going to increase, then we want to subtract. So put this into false. Now, if it is going to increase, then we want to add. So put that into true, and we can actually flip. So it makes a bit more sense there. Now what you will see, when we call that function, wherever we call it, it will actually adjust the level. So if I press play right now, you'll see that we have full health in the bottom left. But if I go back to our main HUD, I go back to our graph. So this is not the health bar. This is the main HUD. I can now on construct. So I should probably explain these as well. So event tick is just like the event tick in the player blueprint that we looked at last video. Construct happens when the widget is constructed. So if you think about it here, this is constructing the widget. That happens here. When we call this function on our player, this is also called in the widget. Pre-construct happens before construction. So this can cause a lot of issues. I mostly use this to debug, like little cosmetic things here and there, because this will actually update in the editor, and I'll go into that more later, but it's not very important to know right now. So off of event construct, we're just going to do a simple test here. I'm going to get my health bar, and I'm going to call that function. So I call that function adjust health level. You'll see we have access to it right here. So let me show you one more time. In game, we have 100% health. But if we go here and call adjust health level and don't increase, and let's say the amount is 50, we can compile, go back to our level, and seems I'm an idiot. Let's see, what did I do wrong here? Okay guys, I'm back. That was dumb. So I actually made a mistake in the health bar widget. In this function to adjust the health level, where it divides by 100, you don't want the percentage to divide by 100. I just wasn't thinking. You want the amount to divide by 100. So I'll show a little before and after picture just so you guys can match it all up. I'm sorry about that. It's been a long day. So anyway, now if we go to our main HUD and on our event construct, if we do the adjust health level and set it to 50, so what this is going to do is it is going to decrease our health by 50. If we start the game, you will see we have 50 health, or 50% of our health. So in the next video, I'll actually be going over a way to make health drop at a interval, and I can actually show that very simply right here. We're going to make health drop every tick, and we'll make it drop 0.1 or 0.01 every single tick, and you will see our health slowly beginning to fall in that bottom hand corner. Just like that. So now that we have a simple health bar that is part of our HUD, we also want to add a crosshair. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, do keep in mind that the health bar doesn't actually keep track of your player's health. That will be covered in next video. Because next video, I'll be going over a full health system hurting and healing your player. Anyway, we're going to create another widget blueprint. We're going to call this WB_crosshair. Go ahead and open her up. And let's put a, let's do a canvas panel here. So I'm actually going to add another canvas panel to this. And we're not going to make this the prettiest crosshair you've seen in your life. It's just going to be a square in the middle of your screen, because we don't have any fancy crosshair images in just yet. So what I did there is I grabbed a border, like this, which is basically a box, and I slapped it on the canvas panel. And then I'm going to go to anchor, and I'm going to center it on the screen here. So what I did there is I went to anchor and Control-Shift-Click. Now on size, I'm going to make this 64. Actually, let's do 16 for now. That's what it's going to look like. Click compile and save. Go back to our main HUD, select the palette, and search for WB_crosshair. Grab that, select it, put it in your canvas panel. Take this right here, go to anchors, and this time we're going to fill the screen. So I'm going to hold Control Shift, click there, and now we have the crosshair centered, just like that. Compile and save. Now you will see we have a very simple, ugly square crosshair and a health bar in the middle of the screen, or a health bar on the side of the screen, crosshair in the middle of the screen. Now, I know that these are very simple. The health bar is a progress bar that just has a number value attached to it, and the crosshair is literally a box in the middle of your screen. But I'm hoping that this video will show you just simply how to make widgets. And today's been a rough day, so my explanation might have been a bit off. I apologize for that. But next video, we will be going over creating a solid health, hunger, and water system, hurting and healing your player, and attaching that to this HUD. And then in a future video, I will be going over some dynamic crosshairs, so crosshairs that move with player movement, move when you're shooting, move when you're jumping, examples like that with better images and better designs, and especially with the health bar and the rest of the HUD as well. Sorry. I'll be using Adobe Illustrator and some free alternatives as well for you guys. that will go over creating some really nice health bars, food, water, whatever other, different HUD elements you want to use. And I will go over some nice places to find templates for them. I can provide my own templates for them, things like that. So I hope this video was at least a little bit helpful for you guys today. I know it was extremely simple, but I think that it might have done a good job at explaining the basics of how widgets work. But I'm hoping that you guys can get a little bit of knowledge out of it. Now, if you have a guy, oh my gosh, I'm having a trouble talking today. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos, or if you have any questions about this video or anything in the future, let me know and I'll get right to it. We have a Discord you can join in the link below. I also have a Patreon that you can join to get access to these videos up to a week early, and also you can personally get me to upload any tutorial that you want to see. I will be having a tutorial uploaded to our side series within this week about PCG and the new updates to 5.3, so you guys can be looking out for that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this very simple video. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.